In Void Rivals Issue 1, we were introduced to the newly founded Energon universe with the reveal of Jetfire. Showing up at the end of this issue, Jetfire reveals to us that he has been stranded on this remote world for quite a while. While his time on the page is relatively short, we do get the sense that he is a character lost in time. Unaware of where or when he is, Jetfire launches off to find his fellow people. Issue 13 of Transformers does give us the background to this event. During the early days on Cybertron, Jetfire leaves his home to find an alternative power source for his kind. The planet is dying, and it is taking its toll on the people. He has chosen to take action for the betterment of his people. Soaring into the sky beyond, Jetfire leaves his home and family behind to serve the greater good. Now, there is obviously a large gap of time between these moments, from Transformers 1 and Transformers 13. When Jetfire leaves Cybertron, the war has not even begun yet. How exactly he knows to call his friend Okthar by the name Starscream might be a continuity error, but for now, we'll have to wait and see if it's explained. Writer Daniel Warren Johnson does not hold back when showing us the casualties of war. Characters like Cliffjumper and Optimus endure the emotional weight of losing those around them, but Jetfire gets the brunt of the physical losses of the story. In issue number 1, he is shot by Starscream for questioning his actions. After being mortally wounded, Jetfire shares a moment with Optimus in the wake of their first battle on Earth. Jetfire calls himself a failure. He was not aware that the Civil War had started, and furthermore, he has failed in his mission to bring healing to Cybertron. In a way, I think we can guess that Jetfire feels responsible for the war in some ways. Perhaps if he had returned with good news, the infighting may have never started. But more importantly, in issue 8, Jetfire is brought back to life in order to serve the Autobot mission to storm the Nemesis. This is one of the most impactful moments in the comic run, in my opinion, as we get to see Optimus and Jetfire interact with each other after the decision was made. Jetfire is brought back online by Ratchet in what is known as Mode Lock. Jetfire is stuck in his alternate mode and cannot transform. At first, this may not seem like a big deal, but if you take a moment to think about it, the act of transforming is a key component to a Cybertronian's life. For Jetfire, transforming and taking off to the stars is his life's purpose. Being able to explore and venture out into the sky, and so being stuck in the jet mode might not seem like an issue at first, until we learn that he cannot even see. The conversation between him and Optimus cuts deep. I had to use what was left at my disposal. We needed a way to travel around this world in order to save it. Is that what I am to you? A husk? I cannot move. Everything is black. I cannot see the stars anymore. Even with my subpar voice acting skills, you can hear Jetfire grasping at straws. He feels like a husk, just a tool to be used. No longer a transformer, but just a shuttle to move people around. As a Cybertronian, this must be a nightmare, as you've essentially changed from being an individual to nothing more than a machine. Optimus, still struggling himself with the decision made and the weight of responsibility, begins to walk away from Jetfire. This may seem like a childish move, but I think we can all relate. When we hurt someone so deeply, we often want to remove ourselves from the situation, whether it be for the person that we've hurt to have time alone, or for our own selfish reasons. Optimus doesn't know the answer to this issue. Jetfire asks him to stay, however, and Optimus delivers, yet again, another simple yet heartbreaking line in response, saying that he will sit with him for a while. Jetfire's ultimate status in the comic book is unknown at the time of the writing of this video. We see him get shot down when the Autobots storm the Nemesis, but we do not get to see him in the aftermath of issue 12. At least, not yet. But as with others, like Ultra Magnus and RC, the comic book has a lot of characters to cover, and so we'll just have to wait and see where all these characters land. Daniel Warren Johnson has stated in the Q&A section of the comics that he will not be giving Jetfire any breaks from the torment he's been writing, perhaps suggesting that there is more in store for our starbound Autobot. Even with the constant torment of Jetfire, seeing him in issue 13 brought a smile to my face, as we got to experience, even if just for a moment, his life before the war consumed those around him. He seems to be a bot who is stuck between the conflict. He, like so many other bots, are all just casualties of war. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Jetfire, man, he is really just getting the worst of it from Daniel Warren Johnson. Reading his comment in the Q&A section, that person had wrote a letter into him asking him, will Jetfire ever catch a break from all the trauma? And Daniel Warren Johnson said, nope, he won't. And reading that really made me think, I've got to do a video on Jetfire sometime soon. I really need to talk about his character. But issue 13, I think, really kind of helps establish the fact that he's really not on either side of the conflict. He left Cybertron to find more resources for their planet. He's trying to help the people overall. He's not sided with Autobots or Decepticons necessarily. I mean, when Starscream comes back to life, he's, like, hey, my old friend, he's happy to see him. And he sees that Starscream, immediately shoots the Autobots. It's obvious that Jetfire is stuck in the middle. He's stuck in between two sides. He knows all these characters, but he's not a part of the conflict. And I think that's what makes him the most tragic casualty of this war, is that he's not picked a side. I think we all know he would probably pick the side of the Autobots, but he's not tied to any one faction. He's also lost and stranded out in space for such a long time, and all of a sudden he comes back and it's chaos. And he immediately faces more loss. He comes back online, he finds Earth, he finds the Ark, and then he's shot. It's really heartbreaking to see him go through this. And I really do hope that these other characters from the Void Rivals comics, like Rodimus and Springer, are able to figure out his pathway to Earth. That way they can come and help. And I really hope we do get to see more of Jetfire. I really hope. Come on, Daniel Warren Johnson. I know you're picking on him. I know you got to have somebody take all the brunt of this damage, but please, just give Jetfire a little bit of a break. Please. I'm begging you. Just give him something. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about Jetfire. Is he getting what he deserves? Should Daniel Warren Johnson give him a break? Are we going to see him more often? What do you think is going to happen to the character? Thanks as always for watching and your continued support. I'll see you guys in the next video.